Okay, so today I took one trade on Nasdaq. It was a winning trade, break-even trade, kind of. I'll get into it quickly, but first I'll do a little market recap. So today I was bullish, as you can see. Um, we were bullish. Market opened here. I went on the 4 hour, and I haven't really gone over this, so I'm just doing this fresh from my head from about an hour ago. On the 4 hour, we could see we had this massive daily, 4 hour daily gap that price has come into. Yeah, price came into here. Price then came all the way back down from the top of there to come back into it to fill it all the way out because we still had this little gap and take out this liquidity here. So from when this happened, or last Friday, I had a feeling the market was going to carry on being bullish. So we took out that liquidity. We then had a few rejection fair value gaps, and we had a break of structure here. Okay. So obviously I was expecting a little bit of a retrace, and today basically my bias was bullish on the 4 hour. The whole of this week is basically going to be bullish unless I'm going to catch a retracement, but the trend is bullish, so I'm going to really trade bullish. We can see here from this move, if we get the EQ tool out, price has tapped into OTE, sorry, with this move, and then from this move to this move, price has tapped into OTE. So today, what I wanted was price to tap into OTE and go bullish, basically. So we had from here to here, I think our OTE was. So my aim was price to tap into OTE and take out some liquidity. My aims were this liquidity down here, this 15-minute liquidity, and this liquidity down here. Mostly this one I wanted to get taken out. Price didn't end up taking this liquidity out when I put in a trade, but I did take out this liquidity, which I still counted as a low, because the past couple of days that I've traded, market has basically swept the nearest liquidity to it and gone. Whether or not it's got liquidity down here, price has literally just swept. I mean, you can look back at my past trades this week or last week. Price just swept the nearest liquidity. So yeah, these were basically what I wanted for. I wanted price to mainly sweep this low, but I basically entered on this low, this sweep here. So I'll show my trade and I'll get into it. Okay, so this was my trade. Obviously we can see we had 15. We had obviously the hourly sell side liquidity down here. We then had the 15-minute lows I was aiming for here, which I reckon price is going to sweep out because we have a relative equal low here. So I reckon price is probably aiming to come down and sweep all that liquidity out. But obviously this is, well, it's coming to the PM session, so I'm not really interested in trading PM session. There's a lot on the screen right now, so I'll try and go through it. Briefly, I'll get rid of my trade here. So, coming into the market, we had a liquidity sweep up here. With this high here, this high, swept those liquidity, come back down here into this fair value gap, which was also in EQ. So price has tapped down into this EQ here, EQ levels here, price has come here. It has then gone up and rejected this 5-minute imbalance. From that, where I saw prices tapped into this EQ, I realised this liquidity down here is quite unlikely to hit because it's already hit the high time frame confluence, if you want to call it high time frame. I guess it's hourly confluence. Tapped into this 1 hour fair value gap, which you can see prices just bounced off this 1 hour fair value gap. I didn't really even notice that. But so it already tapped into my high time frame confluence, the EQ, and then I had a 5-minute rejection imbalance. So From there, I saw this liquidity in pre-market, which on the 1 minute stands out a lot more. Here, price came down and swept that, okay? And I was happy because also it wasn't a 5 minute as well, price came down and swept it. I was happy to count that as my sweep here. And then price came up and we had a 5 minute break of structure, which was an internal break. This one would have been the external break, which it did do. Obviously, it changed direction after that. But yeah, so we had an internal 5 minute break structure, which then created a 5 minute imbalance. I didn't enter off this because there was no confidences even on the 1 minute, even though we broke structure. We came up and we swept this liquidity. So after sweeping that liquidity, I was a bit like iffy about entering, unless my confidences got hit. So we had a 5 minute imbalance, okay? I drew EQ from up here to here. Price came down, tapped into EQ. If I go on the 5 minute, price came down, tapped into EQ, respected the 5 minute imbalance. As we can see, it tapped into EQ here, it disrespected there. I could have entered there, but I didn't feel safe enough because we also had a 1 minute order block here. So yeah, price tapped down to OTE. Sorry, that's why I don't feel safe. Price tapped down to OTE because that was kind of the trend with the other moves that went up. Price tapped into OTE here. Disrespected this 1 minute fair value gap, but we had a fair value gap up higher up here, which I wanted to enter on. Because obviously I didn't know it could just be disrespecting this fair value gap because it was wanting this one. But anyway, with that, I entered there. Only downside with this is I didn't enter on a 1 minute break of structure. As we can see, this was the break of structure, and price didn't break structure until this candle. Until this candle, which it moved down. So I guess it was kind of a risky trade to take today. I didn't fully stick to my plan because there was a 1 minute break of structure to the downside up until this candle. But I still got 50% on my profits, which isn't a bad thing. It was obviously, I was in profit today, but realistically it wasn't a great trade, speaking wise. So yeah, I entered on this here and I put my stops just below, literally here, and I have my first take profit here. It was a 1-to-1, literally an exact 1-to-1. There you go. So that was my first take profit. I then set my other take profits all the way up here because my ambitions were, which I think it was a bit ambitious. We had these hourly equal highs, and I thought price was going to rip up and go to there. That would have been a 1-to-5 trade, RR. I guess it was too ambitious, but I think price only just really, it didn't even hit the TP yet. But what happened was price came down, tapped into, it disrespected his 1 minute fair value gap, so I thought I was out of the trade. I kind of accepted I was out. But then miraculously it went back up, hit my first TP, and then came back down to my break even, which I set my stop loss at after I hit my first TP. So I took out 50% of my trade. So I made 0.5% on my account today, which obviously isn't bad. It's profit, but it was a bit of a messy trade. I think where I went wrong, because obviously everything we kind of had, we had a 5 minute break structure, 5 minute rejection, and a 5 minute imbalance. And we also had a 1 minute fair value gap get rejected. And that was all the most recent confidences to my buyers, but we didn't have a 1 minute break structure. I mean, I'm normally happy on entering without 1 minute break structure if we have a rejection fair value gap. So I'll either enter on either one. So I'll enter on a 1 minute break structure or 1 minute rejection, as long as the 5 minute is broken structure to my bias, really. Every now and then I can get away with it depending on how confidences have hit properly, but I like having my 5 minute break structure to my bias. So yeah, price hit my first TP and then came back down. So yeah, price basically broke structure here, and didn't break it right down. I was also confident on entering because the 1 minute break structure, obviously we had a break structure to the downside, but it wasn't a character shift, which is something new on, I also set my TP here because we have relative equal highs. So it wasn't that bad of a trade because I was so confident that we had relative equal highs here, and price basically came up and didn't sweep these. And because my bias was bullish, I thought price was definitely going to sweep that, which it did. So my first TP I was kind of confident on. Here, that was just like, I guess I was really lucky there to not get stopped out. But the reason I did enter without having a 1 minute break structure was because, as you can see, we had a low here. We then had a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then this created a lower low and a lower high. So it moved market. So this wouldn't count as a breaker structure, well, a character shift, because it didn't create a higher high. If this created a higher high, then that would have counted as a market shift. But this was the most recent lower low, because these can't really count. Because obviously we had a lower low, higher high. So basically, these, where market didn't break structure here because we had a lower low, a lower high, lower low, lower high. And then this, I didn't really want to count it as a 1 minute break, but I think I need a bit more back testing on that because I'm still trying to figure it all out. But if price came down here and broke that, my bias would have definitely been bearish. Because also that would have been a 5 minute break. But yeah, I'm gonna go over what I could have improved on. The trade I probably should have taken today. It's a bit of a weird one because I still did end in profit, but I was stopped at break even. So my first TP I was really confident on because we had the relative equal highs and my bias was bullish, but market was just very choppy today. Price action was really choppy until we had some earnings come out for Tesla and Google, I think, which must have come out around this time. But yeah, overall, not a bad day, not a great day, but yeah, we probably will be back on the markets tomorrow. Well, the rest of the week are good trading days. So yeah.